Excel is a spreadsheet software. It can help us to create a spreadsheet to import into our commander to create a data file. However, if you save the spreadsheet as an Excel file, it takes more memory space. And it also tends to create problems if in case you accidentally have a space, a blank, next to a numeric value. So a preferred method for me to create our data file is actually saving this Excel data as a CSV file. CSV stands for comma separate value. So to do that, I click File, Save As, and instead of Save As Excel Workbook, I click and change to CSV comma delimited. So I save it as a CSV file and click Save. Then you click OK and then click Yes, and that file will be saved. And it's in CSV file. And why is it called CSV file? Let me close this and open it again. Now, if you ask you to save change you made on CSV file, just click on Save, right? Since you already saved it earlier. Now I'm going to open that file. Let's look for that file first. I just created this file, practice 1, and it is called comma separate values file. Okay, so I just click on that and right click and try to open this. Instead of using Excel, I'm using Notepad because the CSV file is actually a text file. So you can actually use a Notepad to open any text file. And on the first row, since I have a variable name on that first row, and you notice that each of those variable names, they're separated by a comma. And also values for each of those variables are also so separated by a comma. That's what we mean by comma separate value file. So again, this is a text file, and each value is separated by a comma. Okay. And this will help us in importing this data file again. I'll close this. I'm going to use our commander to import that comma separate data value file. So to do that, I click Data, Import Data, and this time I choose from text file, since CSV file is a text file. Click on that, and in this dialog box, you're going to check comma as a field separator, since this is comma separate value file. So that's an important step, right? And you click OK. And then you look for that file, practice 1. Where is it? Here. Practice 1, comma separate value file. So I click that and click Open. Okay, now you have that data imported. So I can use a view data set to view the whole data set, or I can click Edit data set in case you want to edit the data value. Now if you look at this data set here, you have blank space in the allergy variable. That is because in the original CSV file you do have blank space. And when you try to make bar plot for allergy variable, you're going to have 3 categories of icon: no and yes and blank space. If you don't want these to be blank space, you want them to be missing value, then you will have to set it up when you're importing the data. So in order to do that, let me re-import this data. Okay, so the missing data indicator, you're going to delete that, make it blank. And then of course, with a comma separator, so that's the difference. Missing data indicator, you want to delete that NA, because in the original data set you didn't have NA, you didn't have blank. Okay, so we do that. Look for that practice data. Now if you look at the data set in the view data set window, you do have NA. Now if you then do bar plot for the allergy variable, you only see 2 categories. Okay, so this is something that you want to be careful of.